that from day one, when I, right out of college started working for the nonprofit, like that was everything, we thought about, right? Like we thought about our ideal client, our ideal, person that we're serving. Like, what do they want? What do they need to hear? And that just has always been kind of carried through each of those situations. I mean, obviously going from, nonprofit to a health insurance company, like very, very different
Whoa,
scenarios and
yeah.
environments, but you're still writing and marketing and talking from the lens of like, who is the person that's on the receiving end and needs to hear that? And that's the same approach that I teach my clients today. It's the same approach that I use in building my community, and not just building a community, but building a community that people want to go back to, right? Like people keep coming back into my Facebook group to get valuable content. And yes, there's valuable content, but I also am constantly speaking to them and to what they need to hear and what they're struggling with, and listening and paying attention to what people are telling me. And that's what makes it personalized, right? Even though it's a group of, almost 7,000 people, that's what makes it personalized. And I think that's the piece that will never die, right? No matter what marketing fad comes along, cough, cough, Clubhouse, or anything else like that. Personalization and making people feel seen and heard and important and like they matter, that will never die. That will always be relevant and important in marketing. And that's why I think we need to kind of always keep that front and center. And I see a lot of people sort of moving away from that in the
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Well, they're looking at it from like a numbers perspective or a growth perspective. And growth honestly does start and sustains through that base of community that actually is sold out for what it is that you are doing and offering, because they're sold out to you as a human,
Mm-hmm.
right? They
Mm-hmm.
see your heart, they know your intention, they feel clear in that relationship, versus you could dangle any genre of fruit to that group of people that serves them and is going to create sustenance to them because they trust you. And I love that part of it. And as you're talking, and a way that I teach and train is all around like this biblical principle associated to how the world is training, what the world is saying when they're talking about marketing. And the analogy that came to me, because ideal avatar can get sticky for some people, or niching can get sticky to people because they feel like, I don't know, I want all women to know this
Right.
amazing thing, this
Right.
amazing product that I
Right.
have, or
Yeah.
this transformational tool that I use, or this knowing of God, right? Or whatever it is that their genre is. And I always tell them, like, Jesus didn't pick a niche. However, when Jesus spoke to audiences, he knew who was in the audience and he knew how he was communicating to them. So it's the recognition that he didn't speak to the lame man the same
Mm-hmm.
way he spoke to the farmer. If he had done that, it'd be really confusing. His parables and the way that he shared stories were directly relatable to the person who was listening. And it should be no different when you're trying to talk about a specific concept to a specific audience. So you might be serving all women,
Right.
but what about the all woman who isn't a mom? What about the all woman who is not married, but really yearns to be married, right?
Yeah.
There's different conversations happening. And that's why really, I think there's a piece of pie for everyone, and everyone's homes should be open because everyone's stories are so different.
Yes. I love that. Love the biblical application to that too.